ground. Welcome, ethereal seekers, light workers, warriors, lovers, and wherever you are, whoever you are, 1111, let's walk together through the portal of life. And it feels so good to be here right now. The energy is like off the charts, man. And living today's age and the transits that we are currently experiencing is like, wow. It's like awakening, transitioning, and ascension. Is so if you're not experiencing some of the most horrific, sometimes can be very scary as well, but also exhilarating at the exact same time. So I'm loving it, and definitely I'm a spring baby. I'm an Aries, so this is an amazing experience for me. But I want to just come here and just do something that's going to consist of the voice of reason doesn't need a reason to be. And what I'm saying is you don't need a reason to be yourself. Just do you. So I'm here to encourage that. And this series is going to be consist of a lot of spiritual and aspects and just how life just work in a more, peculiar way, and health conscious things as much so. 'Cause I really love health. I'm really into the body and as well the spirit and the mind, and how everything integrates and intertwine into one. And the thing is that I think a lot of times what happens is when we have this aspect of ourselves that it needs to be more layer peeling, or when layers are peeled, we're not willing to smell them, but we can feel the difference. So the thing is, I think it's really critical to always smell your damn onions. Yep, your shit. And it's important to be in that moment, because that moment it's not gonna just alleviate because you're not willing to smell it, So this series is gonna consist of health, spirituality, just freelancing, offering, sharing, open questions, and also live. I will be doing lives as well, taking people questions, this talk, sharing, connecting, which is one of the most prominent things I think that's somewhat lost since the last 2 decades, especially. I think we need to get back into that flow of rhythm of connecting, even when at a distance we still can touch. It's like a funnel, right? And we come in this one moment under this platform to discuss matters of their heart or wherever that's on their mind. Let's get to it. Let's make it happen. Also, some part of myself I want to offer to you guys. I've been born in this type of light. I haven't read too many studies, never read much about consciousness and spirituality in the totality of itself. I just grew up very curious kid. Also, I felt deeply. I have a placement. I have a Scorpio in my moon, and I'm an Aries cusp. And so that's double Mars energy. Plus, I have a Libra rising, so that's kind of helped the edge a little bit, because I think if I had another, say, Scorpio rising or a Leo rising, anything that's kind of be like rah, rah, rah in your face, it'd be a little more okay, a little too intense. But for me as a kid, I just felt so deeply. And also, I was very extroverted too, so I had experienced both. Best of both worlds. I had a lot of pain growing up as well. So, and part of my journey is to help people embrace their pain and see it as a way to heal rather than to hinder or to want to suppress. When I say hinder, I mean like as if when it comes, you kind of notice it. It's like a subconscious thing. It stays there. Now, when you suppress, it's more of a conscious effort to keep it an unconscious thing. Yep. So you want to make sure that you're not hindering and have a leak in your aura as a subconscious energy, or have it, or are you willingly, consciously trying to keep it down? So what I would do growing up as a kid, which is what I always did, was I go to sleep, right? Before I go to bed, I ask myself why I felt what I felt that day during these particular moments. And I will weigh out both of these emotions, whether it's negative or positive. I would look at it, okay, why I felt this anger towards this guy, or why I felt like I should just take this bag of chips. As a kid, I was very like, and these feelings will come to me. And if I can find more pros than cons, I can go to bed. Until then, I would not go to bed until I find more pros than cons in each emotional trigger within me that day. And that was an amazing thing that kind of propelled me to understanding the spiritual element of the forces and the trust and the just the flow of life. Because if I didn't get angry, for example, and the person may have not realized that they were doing something that was, and for them, that kind of made me feel uneasy, and that wasn't really their intentions. So I look at, well, maybe they found a higher ground from that, because off of the reaction, they said they were sorry. So they found compassion within my reaction of anger or this whatever at that moment. So what I would do is I double down even more so for myself. So what I would do is, well, if I got angry over me, this guy, asking me the same question, for example, for a real experience, people had a hard time pronouncing my name. My name is Jesus Williams. Jesus, and people always call me Jose. So it's like, oh my God, like really, but it can trigger me until I learn how to find a way to make it a positive thing, because I have to deal with that the rest of my life. That's my name. So what I did was to find a sense of humor within it, and since then it helped me to able to alleviate that pressure of me being teased or picked on, Jesus or Jose, or not pronouncing my name right. I found a way of making it positive and converting into an energy that can be reciprocated, and also giving a part of my true nature rather than an aspect that I'm not willing to accept because I'm not ready to be talked to that morning. And, so I had that at a very young age. So it broke me out of that shell, but also kept me, preserving that energy as well. So it took a minute, it took a while. And, yeah. So that's a little bit about myself. I will go into extensively about my life real soon for you guys to really get to know who you are, connecting with. I believe in transparency at all costs. I feel as if you can't see who you talking to or who you trying to connect with or get guidance from, or either just one day you just want to chat and we can just chat. We just human beings here, right? There's no hierarchy. To say. So in this world we live in, I think it's really good to trust that process and dig deep in that process within you first. And that commonality, that common ground is that, so we want to be able to share and be reciprocated and be reciprocal of that nature of which we are. So let's continue this journey as light workers and as indigos and whatever you want to call yourself in this world. It doesn't really, matter to me. I think we all can use a hug here and there. We all can use a conversation as well. We all can be shared and can be sharing more to give to a higher constitution that's haven't been laid templated to us as kids. And a lot of this content will consist of a lot of depth, even kid talk, traumas, and heightened awareness. Even ones that's already light workers and they're aware of their journey. I want to share the abundance that I can offer to everyone as much as possible. No one's living a life that, I think a lot of people are living a great life, which best suits them. So we want to live a life that we can connect. Connection is a thing that is still a lot of folks starve for. Even the most, insidious, or I'm gonna say infamous people in the past had partners in crime and mistress and things of that nature. So I would say with that note, bless you guys, be gracious, and continue to live your best life. Even your life is not what you want it to be at this moment, but the moment's all you really have. So maximize that moment for being completely gracious and offering and openness. It shows beauty. So until then, guys, seekers, light workers, warriors, and lovers, and whoever you are, let's be present. Namaste.